Picture this. A scrawny teenage male who's still growing into his emo haircut. He's got good parents, good morals. He is quite the goody two-shoes. But this is a teenager we're talking about, and way deep down, he's got a dark side. Teenage angst. That's right, this is a story about how I, a wholesome being in high school, got detention. The only time I did. Before we get started, please remember to hit the subscribe button. About 70% of you guys are not subscribed. What the frick are you doing? Leave a like and a comment down below as well. It helps me out a bunch. Bit of backstory. My high school was pretty tame. Most of us were pretty respectful students, I'd say. There were a few bad eggs, but, well, I mean, this is high school. I think I remember hearing something about a student in our year getting really angry and throwing chairs around the classroom. He also threw a cardboard box at the fan and it exploded and paper was flying everywhere. Man, I wish I was in that class. Like I mentioned before though, I was a good kid. Sure, I could be a bit of a class clown now and then, you know, haha, look at me, woo! But by George, if I got a warning from a teacher, I would sink back down into my shell and be like, yes ma'am. I respected those old farts, but not for long. Here's where our story begins. Typical day at school, just absolutely bludgeoning our way through classes. Then finally, it's recess. Starving for literally any kind of mental stimuli, I sprint for the handball courts. My friends and I used to love this game called handball. We played it every day. I'll talk about it more in a different video, but essentially it's a game where we all have our own square, and you gotta hit the ball to each other and try to get each other out. I promise it was a lot more fun than it sounds. We were addicted. As fun as handball usually is for me, today I was not having a lot of fun. Mostly because all my friends decided it would be funny to target me and just get me out over and over again. Hilarious. I spent the entire game in the lowest square, which was dunce. Then all of a sudden, the bell rang, and recess was over, along with my hopes and dreams. I was miserable. And as I slowly walked to my next class, I felt the teen angst deep within me start to fester and grow. Then, without any warning, my least favorite teacher popped his head out of the library and said, "Jordan, tuck your shirt in. You look like a wild animal." I looked down. My shirt was untucked, but so were my emotions. The teen angst was bubbling up. I couldn't control it any longer. I looked back at my teacher, and he looked at me. Oh, I tucked in my shirt. But in a fit of rage, I turned around, extended my right foot out, and I did the softest kick against the wall anyone has ever seen. That'll show him. My teacher was in shock. He called me back to him, and I stood there with an edgy look on my face. "Detention, Mr. Sweeto." Pfft, whatever. I wasn't good anymore. But I was kind of scared. I had never had detention before, ever. I told my friends about it at lunch, and they started laughing. For detention that evening, I had to go back to the library. My teacher told me to go sit down and write a paragraph about why I feel sorry. It took me like 2 seconds. Now what? Just sit there quietly for 10 minutes, I don't know. So I crossed my arms and leaned back in my chair with a smile on my face. When I told my parents about it later that night, they were like, "What?" They were so confused because it was so out of character for me. Then all the teen angst subsided within me again, and I went back to normal. The end. Wolfie and I have brand new plushies, so click the link in the description down below to check them out. Thank you so much for watching this video. I also stream on Twitch, so go give that a follow if you would like to be a part of that. Click the playlist on screen for even more story times from me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!